Hi, I'm Shane.
I'm Kelsey,
and this is Dixie, and we are Love Hut for Life. And for 201 week, we have been traveling around the country in our very self-built home on wheels.
And this week we are hanging out in the hills of Virginia, working on a really cool Airstream conversion and quite a few other projects that Shane has gotten himself into. I hope that you guys enjoy this. If you do, be sure and hit that thumbs up button, subscribe, and comment below so that we know to be grateful for you.
And also, if you're trying to get a hold of me, you can shoot us an email at lovehutforlife@gmail.com. Good morning, everyone, and welcome to another fun-filled week on a hillside in Virginia. We've been here for quite a few weeks now, and I've been working on several different projects. I've been working on this Airstream that I'm standing inside of now, as well as some bathrooms up in the big house there. Last week, I focused on this Airstream extensively, and we completely sealed the outside, and I'll be showing you the outside later. And that allowed us to come back and patch in where we've cut out rotten wood from leaks that were occurring while this thing's been in storage for several years. Now, at the end of last week, I had this bathroom all but put together. And as you can see, it's empty. I still have my skin up in here, and I've taken out everything that I built in here last week. And it's all laying in the floor. I'm adding in wood sealer as well as sanding everything down because I'm about to clean this whole area up and build this thing one last time. Once I get that built, I do believe I'm going to clean off this counter and I'm going to finish the top of it as well. And that way I'm doing all my cedar at one time. Y'all hang on. This week's going to be fun.
Meanwhile, I am inside getting the Love Hut all packed up. That means moving a whole lot of instruments these days. We've got them all moved and I am ready to get out of here. Guys, we've been parked in this driveway for a while now and we will be back to this parking spot in a couple of days. But for now, I think it's time for me to go tell Shane it's time to stop work for a couple of days. I got some friends to go see. Hey.
Hello.
What's happening here?
Cleanup time, you know, like the Barney song.
Cleanup time? Does that mean you're done for the day?
I am done for the day. I'm done for the next few days. We're headed off on an adventure.
I know. I've already got the truck all packed up for you.
You do?
I do. I want to see what you've done in this bathroom, though.
Go check it out.
Oh, that's going to look so good. Guys, this is reminding me a whole lot of Bailey's pallet wood shuttle bus that we did a few years ago. Maybe a few of you remember that one. This thing's still got some ways to go when we get back, but it's gonna look awesome. And the builder already looks awesome. Boy, I love that guy. Oh, that's better. Guys, if you've been following us for a while, then this place needs no explanation. We are hanging out at the beautiful Angels Rest Hikers Hostel in Harrisburg, Virginia. Shane's planting veggies. Shane's already taking advantage of the best showers on the Appalachian Trail. And me and Turk are gonna be cooking some dinner inside. Hey, Turk! He's so handsome. Good morning, you two.
Good morning. Good morning, puppy.
Guess what you're not doing today, Shane?
Working on an Airstream.
Or bathrooms.
Or bathrooms. I might work on something else today.
Oh yeah, I think Doc might have a few projects for you, but it's mostly a couple days off.
Mostly. Apparently she had a bit of a fire in our absence, so we gotta go fix that.
Yeah. We gotta take care of our Doc.
Mm-hmm. Earlier there was a bit of fire. So what had happened was, while Doc went to a new hip camp, she plugged into their terminal post there to hook up her service for this RV. And she was the first person to ever have the pleasure of plugging in. And when she did that, it was wired incorrectly, and it caused a short at the pole as well as somewhere in her camper. And someone else looked at it at Camper World, and they determined it to be the converter. So we're gonna tear into this thing today and see if we can get her back running, because that means her 12-volt battery is not charging, which means most of the things inside this camper aren't working. That right there is our problem. That is the converter. So what it does is it takes power from your shore connection and it charges your 12-volt battery as well as runs all of your utilities inside. So we've got to replace that right there. Easy peasy fix. Sit. Good puppy. Oh, you're such a good girl. Ready? Jump. You did your 2 tricks. Good job. Hooray.
What are you making over there?
Puppy treats, of course. Grilled Philly cheesesteak sandwich things. I don't know. I'm hungry.
Sounds delicious.
It's gonna be.
I think we've got a pretty nice sunset going out this window too. Days always end so beautifully around here. Oh, guys, we woke up and said goodbye to all of our friends at the Angels Rest Hikers at Haven early this morning. And we are headed back in the direction of the Airstream, but we got to make a little bit of a pit stop. I don't know if you guys remember, but a few weeks ago we were doing some work on the truck. We put about $1,000 in parts in it, both front wheel bearings and brand new shocks, but we're still having some problems, so
we're gonna take it to a guy with some grease covered hands, and hopefully this person is able to help me out. He's actually the mechanic that Doc uses on the bus that I built at the hostel several years ago. So we're gonna go meet him and see if he can give me some insight as to what our problem is. I think I know, but I would rather a mechanic tell me before I go through all the trouble. This should be fun.
We'll get it figured out, guys. The Love Hut is definitely missing being off-road.
Well, y'all made it back to my Airstream, and I'm excited to get to work on it again. We had a little update from the mechanic shop, and we'll call it excited about what's wrong with the truck. My fear was that the control arms were failing on me, and that's a bigger replacement. But our true issue is our steering linkage, basically. So I'm going to replace the whole steering linkage on the truck. I'm going to pay that man to do it because he has a lot more tools and the ability to do it a lot faster than me. It'd take me a couple of days to do it by myself. So we have to schedule a time, order some parts, and we'll get big and up and running in no time. Until then, I'm going to keep making some sawdust in here and see if we can get this thing all finished up. I was about to attach this last layer of Luan to the top of this kitchen counter, and I thought I would share with you all what I'm actually doing, because this is kind of different than how I normally build a countertop. So let's talk about it. This is the stock counter that was in the Airstream, and we're really not wanting to go through the trouble of ripping all of it out and replacing it. We just want it to look better. So what I'm doing is I'm going to be attaching cedar to the top of it. Now, it originally had this very pretty yellow Formica, I believe is what they call it, but classic countertop material. And what I've done was I glued and brad nailed this material to the top of the counter, which gives me a nice wood surface to work with, which gives me a great place to attach that cedar to. Now, we've decided that ideally we want this whole top to be nice and smooth all the way across, so it can be a working area. More particularly a working area to solve puzzles. So we need it to be nice and smooth so the puzzles can be slid off and onto a piece of cardboard once they're completed. Part of that is my cap for the stove needs to be flush as well, so I don't want to have to cope with the stove being slightly higher, which is generally what I would do if I built a deck to go over a stove. It's going to sit a little higher than the countertop. So what we're doing is adding another layer of this wood, and that's going to allow us the inches that we need, that will create a smooth top over the top of this, as well as the sink. So I'm going to utilize these old inserts, and they were just a piece of wood with some of that countertop material just glued to it. So I'll be removing the countertop and adding Luan as well as the cedar finish wood that we're going to be putting on here. Alright, let's get this thing attached so I can start cutting cedar for this puppy. So I'm on to the fun part of the shower. I'll step out so you can see what I'm at. If you see the line here, you really start doing a bow at this mark here, which gets tricky when you're trying to put flat things on a round wall like this. This is only about 3 inches, these planks. But when you put them in their groove, you notice there's a, I'm gonna turn the camera sideways, there's a gap. I don't like the gap. So a solution to that is you can take a board and cut reliefs in the back of it. And then your gap goes away. You just gotta let it bend a little and then fill it with glue, so when you staple it and it dries, it hardens on the back and you're good to go. Let's keep moving up. You know, it looks like that sun's going down over there. I think I'm gonna call it a day. I have made a ton of sawdust today, as y'all can see. But I'm very excited about what I've built today. Let me see if I can get in here so y'all can see all the way. Ain't that pretty, y'all? Got a whole nother wall over here too, and the bench. Tomorrow, I'll get it all trimmed out and sealed up. And then I can start working on the little tile floor that's gonna go in there too. See you tomorrow, Love Shack. Good morning, y'all. It's another fun day on a hillside in Virginia. And I'm still working on this bathroom. I've got a lot of rain coming this evening, and it's pretty much gonna rain for a week. So I gotta get some stuff done today so I can get some supplies in here. Let's see if we can get this counter all finished up too. Boy, I'm really excited about how that shower turned out. Y'all just wait till I get it sealed. It's gonna be poppin'. Well, the whole camper just shook with thunder. There was a lightning struck fairly close to here. I don't think I'm gonna pack it in for the day. But y'all, check it out. Got me a nice threshold in here, so my pan is ready for tile work. Did all of my trim around this cabinet as well. That way our countertop will be countersunk and sanded smooth, so you don't have ugly edges. All of this is completely weight bearing. You could stand on these if you were inclined to, but I'm not gonna test that out. And the toilet just slides right in here into this little cute box. And I also covered up that really ugly vent pipe that's been in the corner. I'm gonna come back tomorrow and clean this. No more tonight. I gotta go find Kelsey. I think she's stuck on the porch. Oh dear.
Oh, that's a pretty rainbow.
I got some storms coming this afternoon, or I know I do. So I gotta get to busting it today. First things first, I'm finishing out this trim on the inside of the shower. And I'm using Luan to stack on top of this really ugly piece of metal trim that was used as a structural component in the old shower. But what I've done is run screws through here, and that tied in the skeleton of the shower. And now I'm trying to build it out so that it's flush and I can trim it in cedar and make this a nice pretty threshold versus what we got going on right now. That just ain't good enough. And then I'm gonna do all my cedar for this and hopefully get all of it stained today so we can get well on our way to being done with this thing. Because I don't know if y'all forgot, but I got another shower to do in that house. Well, this week and many before, and undoubtedly many more to come, I'm going to tell you guys I'm not finished with this project, but I did get a lot done. I hope you enjoyed this week with me. I got my first coat of stain on the pedestal here. Anything that's left unstained is being covered up with something else, so it wasn't really necessary to waste my stain there. Very proud of this shower today. I did some major things like come in and trim this top piece along through here. I built trim around these corners, which was quite challenging because the way the Airstreams are built, they use these metal corner pieces and this 1/4 inch Luan that they use to build everything. One side's white, one side is tan, and they can use it wherever they want. The white was used for the shower wall. It just clips on to the Luan, so there's really not much to anchor to. The only thing to anchor to is the actual metal strip itself. So I had to fill all of that space in with Luan to get this nice trimming effect. And I've got one around the top as well. There's also one on the back of that seat. A lot of this stuff is gonna pop once I actually stain the shower too. So right now it all looks like just plain wood. But once it gets sealed, it's gonna look beautiful. Make sure you come back next week to see just what that looks like. Until then, I'm gonna go play my banjo.
Guys, we want to take the time to say thank you to each and every one of you who have followed us along all of these 201 weeks that we've been recording our lives, or even just this video. If you haven't already done so, comment below so that we know to be grateful for you specifically.
If you've watched all 201 weeks of our life, then you can go check out some of our other social media as well, like Facebook and Instagram. Those are great ways to direct message us. You can also check out Etsy and get some of Kelsey's sweet wire wrapping jewelry.
That's right, guys. You watch us dig up all of these awesome gemstones, and I have been busy turning them into jewelry for all of you, so you're going to want to check that out. We will see you guys next week. Peace out. Have a good one.
Bye, y'all.